Hey there, island dreamers, locals, and anyone craving a slice of paradise. Welcome back, or welcome for the first time, to the Fun and Key West podcast, where the vibe is always laid back, the stories are salty, and the drinks, well, they're definitely frozen. I'm your host, Michelle O'Connor, your unofficial tour guide to the Conquered Public. Whether you're planning your first trip, your fifth trip, or you're just daydreaming about trading the cubicle for the ocean breeze, you are in the right place. Here's the deal. This podcast is your insider's guide to all things Key West. We're talking where to eat, hello, conch fritters and key lime pie, where to drink, spoiler alert, there will be rum, where to stay, and all the quirky, wonderful things that make Key West the one-of-a-kind paradise we all love. Plus, we'll keep you up to date on the latest happenings, festivals, events, maybe even the occasional Hemingway lookalike sighting. And just to keep things spicy, we'll be bringing on some amazing guests now and then, locals, business owners, and people who know the island like the back of their sandy hand. So grab your flip-flops, pour yourself a cold one, and let's escape to the island state of mind together, whether you're tuning in from your hammock or your commute, while wishing it was a hammock. We've got all the Key West goodness coming your way. Thanks for being here. It's going to be a lot of fun in Key West. Let's dive in. Hey there, history buffs. Michelle here with Fun in Key West, and today we're stepping back in time. Victorian skirts, shady banyan trees, and all. Our historic stop is the legendary Cosgrove House, now part of the beautiful Banyan Resort. Trust me, this place is practically dripping in Key West history. From its ties to founding father John Whitehead to the ghost stories that might just give you goosebumps. Here's the scoop. This charming house was built in 1850, smack dab in a prime deepwater port location, back when Key West was more ships and less scooters. It became later Captain Philip Cosgrove's home, and yep, Myrtle Cosgrove was the visionary behind that impressive banyan tree you'll spot right out front. And oh, did I mention Captain Cosgrove himself is rumored to still be wandering about? Yep, we've got ghosts and gorgeous architecture, and you're going to want to put this one on your Key West history bucket list. Grab a coffee, put on your walking shoes, and stick around as we uncover all the charm, the spooky tales, and the stunning restoration work that keeps this slice of history vibrant today. This episode is about to get as fascinating as a ghost and banyan tree combo can possibly get. Stay tuned. Happy Historic Marker Monday, everybody. I am Michelle with Fun in Key West, and today's stop is the Cosgrove House, better known as the Banyan Resort. But let's back up to when it was actually the Cosgrove House. So this original house, not all the complex that you see today at the Banyan Resort, was built in 1850. And when you start to look back through all of the history of this house, you're going to figure out why you are just drawn to this location. It's on Whitehead Street. And so thus, it was originally owned by John Whitehead. He's one of the Key West founding fathers, and you can see a lot of his influence in Key West. And it was a prime location back in 1850 because the deep seaport used to be right there. And remember, we filled everything in as the years have gone by, but it used to be right next to the deep water port. So it was a strategic location right in the heart of the city. And then in 1871, Captain Philip Cosgrove bought the house for $1,600, which back then was a sizable investment. I did a little bit of calculation, and I don't know if Google's right or wrong, but in today's dollars, that would be about $60,000. I'm still thinking that is one heck of a deal on real estate in Key West. Actually, it's probably a heck of a deal anywhere in the country on real estate. But the Cosgroves acquired the property back in 1871, and it stayed in the Cosgrove family until 1947. That beautiful banyan tree that you see outside of that property today was the result of Captain Cosgrove's wife, Myrtle. She fell in love with the idea of a banyan tree, thought it would provide beautiful shade in the Florida sun for her home. And so it was planted in the early 1900s. banyan trees, they grow, they drop. I don't know what the exact wording is, but they drop their feeders, their tendrils down, and that's how they grow and how they expand. I believe, and if I'm wrong, let me know. I don't think you're allowed to plant a banyan tree in Key West anymore because they just take up so much space. And what's interesting, though, I did a tour, and you can thank her for the idea of these ways that Key West homes are able to gather and get rainwater. She put in a cistern system on the property so that it could feed her beautiful and lush garden. So over time, much like some of the other homes in Key West, the area around the Cosgrove house it grew, and it became part of 7 other homes, which you see today as part of the Banyan Resort. So these homes were acquired or built along the way, and these have all been beautifully restored and are able to show off the true spirit of what I call Key West architecture. It's a little bit of here, it's a little bit of there, and it comes together in a very nice complementary blend, which I call Key West architecture. I know it's not that's official name, but that's what I call it. If you do a Key West ghost tour and you have an opportunity to do the walking tour, you usually have a stop at the Banyan Resort because it is alluded to be haunted. Captain Cosgrove is said to have roamed, has said to be, but people have seen him wander the grounds, maybe looking after things and checking things out. Whenever I took one of the ghost tours, they said that guests of the Banyan Resort can hear kids laughing and playing. And there's supposedly a little girl known to take the chocolates that had been left on the pillows. If you have had an experience at the Banyan Resort, let me know. I would love to hear all about it. The Cosgrove house is now part of the Banyan Resort. So again, there's 7 other homes that have now come together to be what is known as the Banyan Resort. You can walk through there and experience the grounds, see the banyan tree, and really explore what it was like back in the 1850s, 1870s when the Cosgroves acquired the property, because there's a lot of things that still remain the same. Maybe the insides of the homes have been updated and modernized, but the outside of the home is exactly the way it probably was in terms of its structure. I love wandering through these old homes and these old resorts and love hearing how one home may have been increased in size to accommodate a growing family, or how several homes were then acquired around that property to make it that much more accommodating to what its intention was to be at that time. There are over 100 of these historic markers throughout Key West, and I hope you have an opportunity as you wander the streets of Key West. Stop, look at these historic markers. They really have the ability to transport you back into the time in which that house was, why it was built, who lived there, the stories that surround it. And I truly encourage you to start to explore some of the Key West history. The founding fathers and mothers of Key West have some very interesting stories, and I just love how their influence is still seen today. I am Michelle with Fun in Key West, and as always on Mondays, we explore the historic side of Key West. It's one of my favorite things about Key West is just wandering through the streets and just being lost in the architecture and the way the city has kept its quaintness, and there's no large buildings, and I just love that about Key West. And I know you do too. If you're looking for other things to do, head over to FunInKeyWest.com. Over there, I've got all kinds of things that you can do. Check out what to do. And there's tours you can book directly on our site. Same price as the tour provider, because we partner with some amazing travel people in Key West. And we're able to bring those tours to you. Sign up for our newsletter. And it is the end of February. So guess what? March is just around the corner, and we will be starting to look into a new book for the book club. I will put a link in below to have you sign up for the book club, and you will be in the know of everything happening at the Fun in Key West book club. You guys have a great Monday. and we'll talk to you later. Bye. Thanks for diving into Key West history with me today, friends. This stop at the Cosgrove House, now the beautiful Banyan Resort, was packed with the kind of stories that make this island so endlessly fascinating. From its start as a 19th century home by founding father John Whitehead, to Captain Cosgrove's era and Myrtle's visionary landscaping, shout out to that iconic banyan tree, this spot has seen it all. And can we take a moment for the ghostly tales? Captain Cosgrove himself supposedly still checks in on things. And I love the idea of a mischievous little ghost girl swiping chocolates from pillows. It's just one more reason why this house, and now resort, feels like stepping into a piece of living history, quirks, ghosts, and all. Today, the Banyan Resort is a collection of beautifully restored homes that showcase true Key West architecture and maybe a little paranormal activity. I can't emphasize this enough. Next time you're wandering through Key West, take a moment to stop and soak in the history of the Cosgrove House and its surroundings. Oh, and while you're at it, explore the many historic markers scattered throughout town. These little plaques tell some big stories. And trust me, it's like stepping into your own time machine, minus the confusing buttons. Feeling inspired? There's more where that came from over at FunInKeyWest.com. Head there for even more history tidbits, travel tips, and ideas to level up your Key West getaway. Before you sign off, grab your VIP ticket to all things Key West by subscribing to my Fun in Key West newsletter. It's your weekly dose of insider updates, event highlights, and quirky little finds. Perfect for keeping the island vibes alive no matter where you are. To-dos before you go. Like this episode if you're a sucker for a good ghost story. Share it with your history-loving friends or anyone planning their next island adventure. And let me know your favorite Key West historic marker or a story you'd love to learn more about. I want to hear it all. Until next time, keep wandering, keep exploring, and always keep it Key Westy.